Turning 50 didn't just flip a number. It didn't happen with a bang or some big wake-up call. The truth is that the changes I've noticed have just simply crept in quietly and slowly over the last couple of years since I turned 50. It's almost as if I've now realised that I've stopped chasing the things that I used to chase. I've also realised as well that I'm valuing things differently. You know, my style, my mindset, and even my outlook has shifted dramatically. But what's really interesting is all these things have happened without me really realising it. So today I'm going to share 10 lessons that I've realised have snuck up on me in my 50s, and maybe some of them will hit home for you too. So let's jump to it. Okay, the first shift that I noticed is that comfort is now king, but style still matters, don't get me wrong. But to elaborate a little bit on that, in my 20s, 30s, or in my case, even in my 40s, I would wear anything if I thought it looked cool. You know, I would be chasing the brands, chasing the logos, chasing the trends. But when I hit my 50s, again, without me realising it, my wants in style changed dramatically. You know, I've started to want clothes that fit right, that feel good, but of course still look sharp. You know, but one of the things, the fundamental thing I've learned is that I don't need to suffer to dress well anymore. So where I was looking for those brands before, now I'm looking for quality fabrics or fabrics that just feel nice on the body, tailored looking fits and clean lines. For me, that's where the style lives now. But what's really interesting is I'm not alone on this. In actual fact, this morning, I actually found this video from Kevin Hart, which pretty much sums up what I've just said. So I'll play it now.
They're not comfortable.
You don't what now? Why you don't wear jeans no more?
I don't wear jeans because I'm getting older. It's all pants, all slacks.
Slacks?
Slack.
And that's for a certain age.
I mean, I'm over 40. I feel like a good pant is necessary.
Okay.
Jeans are not the same. Jeans hurt and they're not comfortable. They're not comfortable. I need a comfortable slack. I need something that I can move in and something that's soft when I'm doing this right here. I don't like how jeans feel on my knees. They hurt my knees. I don't like it. And they hurt my waist. Like when you sit down, I don't like how jeans dig in my waist.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that. All slacks. Soft waistband.
Now, what age should we be when we start wearing the slacks?
I mean, for me, everything changed when I got 40. I'm 45 now. I'm 46. Okay. So it changes at 50. I'm going all sweatpants. I'm not even doing slacks.
Okay, the second shift in mindset is that health is no longer negotiable. You can't fake your way through health anymore once you turn 50. And there's certainly no shortcuts or bouncing back after a late night. What I have learned is that a consistent routine of good sleep, moving as much as you can daily, and eating real, proper good food isn't optional anymore. It's foundational. I work out 4 or 5 times a week, every single week without fail. And whereas in my 40s I would be doing that to look physically better, I've now noticed that my mindset has shifted and I'm doing it to stay sharp, to stay pain-free, and to try and stay full of energy. The third shift that I've noticed is that less is more. And what I mean by that is that simplifying has almost become a superpower for me. Now, whether I'm simplifying my wardrobe, my home, my calendar, whatever it may be, I've learned since turning 50 that if you clear the clutter, it creates space for what really matters in your life. So, you know, focus, time, peace, all those sorts of things. But what's really important as well, that this less and more doesn't just apply to material objects. It can also apply to people as well. Okay, the fourth change that I've noticed is that I've started to watch people more instead of listen to what they say. And what I mean by that is that over the decades, I've probably given people the benefit of the doubt too many times. You know, when someone said something, I've possibly said to myself, maybe they didn't mean it that particular way. But what I've noticed over the last couple of years is that I've started to trust actions a lot more than words. So if someone shows me who they are, I don't try to repaint the picture. I'm just taking them now based on their actions. So this is definitely a change that I've noticed since turning 50. Okay, the fifth mindset change I've noticed is that I don't owe everyone an explanation. And it's one of the most freeing lessons I've probably noticed since turning 50 is that you can say no without a backstory. I don't have to explain my boundaries, my lifestyle, or my choices. And especially, I don't have to explain it to people that don't live with the consequences of them. So protect your peace and realise that no can be a full sentence. The sixth change that I've noticed, and this one is quite unusual for me, is that I've realised silence is powerful. So what I mean by that is that previously, every moment I used to fill with background noise, whether it be music, TV, radio, people talking. But now I often crave the quiet, just a silence where I can just be me, I can think clearly, I can hear myself. And that's where the real decisions get made. That's where the internal compass kicks in. So this has been a big shift because I've always thrived on noise and background, but it's gone. I don't want it anymore. Okay, the seventh mindset change that I've noticed is that I now dress for myself. And what I mean by that is when I was a teenager or when I was in my 20s, like most people at that age, I would dress to fit in. When I was in my 30s, I would dress to impress. And to a degree, I think I was probably even still doing that in my 40s. But in my 50s, I dress now just to feel like me. I've learned that I don't care anymore about trends. I don't care anymore about labels. And instead, I just prefer to wear what makes me feel confident, what makes me feel comfortable, but more importantly, what I want to put on. So when you dress for yourself, you certainly start to feel the individualism and you walk different, but it's a great shift in mindset that you don't have to follow the crowd anymore. The eighth change that I've noticed is that I've realised that time is the real currency. Yes, of course, money is important. We all still want it, but I've wasted time on people over the years. I've wasted time on stress and on things that I thought actually mattered that didn't. So never again. I've now learned that time is the one thing I can never get back. So I've started to protect it ruthlessly. I spend it with my family and people I love or people that energise me. And I'm also happy to spend that time as well on things that grow me and in places that inspire me. But it's definitely the real currency and it's something that you should value deeply. Now, this one is something that I think probably applies to other people more so than me, but I have noticed it. So I've always kind of had a small circle. And don't get me wrong, over the years, I've made mates with people and then realised maybe we're not quite the same. But one of the things I've certainly noticed over the last few years is that my circle is very, very small, but it's very, very strong. I don't need a crowd. What I need is just a few real people who actually get me, people who you can talk to, who are of the same beliefs as you. There's no fakeness, there's no performance, it's just loyalty, honesty, and good conversation. And that's what friendships, I think, look like in your 50s. Gone is the need to follow the crowd and to be at every party and to try and be friends with everybody. So that's a real mindset shift that changes as well when you hit 50. Okay, the 10th mindset change is that I've noticed I can still grow while also starting to wind down. So what I mean by that is that I used to think when I was a lot younger that, my 50s were just purely the start of winding down only. But now I'm in my 50s, I've realised that's not true. And if anything, it's actually the start of something richer. And the reason I say that is I've got a lot more clarity, I've got a lot more patience, and I know the things that I want to continue to build on more than ever. So therefore, I'm still evolving, I'm still learning, and I'm still building. And I think that's what makes this chapter so powerful. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you're in your 50s, let me know in the comments below what lessons you've learned. I'd love to read them. And if you're a younger viewer, don't fear this decade. It's not the end of anything. In actual fact, it's the beginning of being fully yourself. Anyway, hit that like button if this video has spoken to you. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do, but it helps this really small channel to continue to grow. Anyway, in the meantime, stay sharp, stay real, keep leveling up, and I'll get back to you in the next one.